Hello, my name's Ekello Harrid, and this is the Future Fiction Academy. Today, we're going to do a good old-fashioned introductory course, Introduction to Raptor Write. Raptor Write is your free piece of software that gives you the ability to work with artificial intelligence to help you write your dreams. The idea of Raptor Write is control. You have control. No prompts in the background. Everything you can see. You can literally see every single thing, which is actually very simple prompts. What I want you to do is sit back, bring your laptop, whatever you use to write with, have my video going in the background, and we will step through this together. Let's jump into introductions to Raptor Write. This is Raptor Write. As you can see, it's a blank page. It's the best kind of blank page because it's full of possibilities. We're going to start over in the left-hand corner. I'm going to zoom in. At the top, we're at version 0.31a. That's at least slightly important because it kind of gives you a gauge of where it is in development. This is a very, very robust program, but also very new program. Here is your AI settings. You're actually on the AI tab right now. You can click into instructions and it'll take you to a page where it'll give you a step-by-step walkthrough of all of the nomenclature that you need to know in order to kind of effectively work with Raptor Write. And to be quite honest with you, if you want to just tool around, watch this video, you probably don't have to click through to those instructions, but if you do need some extra work, those instructions are there. Next, you have a list of your large language models. This list includes OpenRouter, OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and Mistral. If you are using the free version, you will only get access to OpenRouter, which is fine actually because it has every single model you could ever want. It will even show you different things like the top 10 models that the FFA recommends, the top 10 spicy models, free models that you could just use completely free, all models completely, and even your favorites. This right here gives you the ability to pick from all of the models. And as you can see right now, it's on the top 10 FFA, that's Future Fiction Academy models. You have this nice little list that's perfectly suited for just about 90%, 95% of anything that you could probably use. If you are a geek and you really need to mess around with things, your temperature right there helps you either become more creative by increasing or becoming less creative by decreasing the temperature. The lower the temperature, the colder it gets, so it'll kind of stay on the track. If you go higher, it decides to get a little more creative, so fair warning. This is your output limit. This kind of determines exactly which way you're gonna go with whatever large language model you're using. If you're using something like OpenAI's 4.0 model or anything like that, or 0.1 preview or something like that, you can use a pretty decent size output. These output amounts give you the ability to write whole chapters, maybe 2 or 3 chapters, or maybe a long string of text easily right there. Last but not least, your OpenRouter API key. What I'm going to do is I have a file where I can take that API key and drop it in here, and I'm going to do that. But if you want, all you have to do is go over to openrouter.com, get yourself an account, put some money down there, drop that API key in here. This is where I paste in my key. I have access to OpenRouter's API key. I'm going to show you how to use this now. Now that we have this all set up, now we're going to go over to a new tab, Settings. We're going to go over to Settings. This right here is where things get interesting. You can configure your prompts. You can pick your model favorites. You can do all kinds of things. First off, let's start with configure your prompts. I hit configure prompts and it will pull up this wonderful dialog box. This dialog box has a system prompt in it. So if you need to, you can give it a deep persona in order for it to act a certain way, meaning make it into a writing assistant, a song assistant, something like that. You could put whatever overriding prompt inside of the continue prefix. The continue prefix is built so that it has the native ability to just continue whatever you write. It'll look at whatever is before it, and it will try its best to mimic the style and tone of that thing. You hit the continue button and it will continue whatever you write. I love that function. If you highlight a thing, you can now take that highlighted thing and you can revise it. You can add specific instructions to it. That is your configure prompts. So if I wanted to, I could erase this stuff. If I erased it and I wanted it all back, I could just hit the reset button and it brings back those prompts. Now that we've gone over that, let's look at model favorites. If I click on model favorites, I have a full list of the models that are inside of OpenRouter as of the moment of this recording. I can just take each one of those models that I really like. I'm partial to Claude. We'll go with Gemini Pro 1.5. We'll go with Mistral Large, OpenRouter Latest, GPT 4.0 Latest, and we'll hit save. If I go back over to my AI list, I can change it to favorites. So I have all of those things that I just clicked on in my favorites, and I can get to them lickety split now. As you go down the stack on the left-hand side, you'll see that you can click right here. Right now, the right click is disabled, meaning if I right click here, it pulls up this box. But what if I wanted to use my right click to, say, translate something or make something talk, like in Mac? I can highlight things and make it speak. Then I click this off and then I get all of my regular functionality back. And I'm going to click it back on. If I wanted to use the backslash button, I can do that because I can click this one off, this one right here that says the keyboard. I can click that on and I can click it off. And then I get access to these hotkeys, or no access to the hotkeys, as it were. That way you can use the backslash button or the equal button if you really needed to use it for typing or something. Hotkeys for LLM requests, that means you can change it to a backslash, /, the F1 key, or you could change the hotkey for confirm, to insert, equal, end, or semicolon. This show last button shows the last request to the LLM. What did you just have in there? It sits in there. The log out button is pretty self-explanatory. You can log out. You can debug. I wouldn't worry about that. You can reset all of your everything so that if you changed your request buttons, your hotkeys, configure prompts, all that stuff, it will reset. This is the backup button right here where you can back up your projects to a JSON file. You can restore everything from a JSON file that has been backed up. You can change the color. So I'm a dark theme sort of person. If I wanted to, I could change it to dark theme and enjoy my dark. I love it right now, but we're just going to go back to light because we're in the middle of a tutorial. You have seen all the settings. You've seen how to get the AI in there. Let's create something. Let's create a thing. And I'll show you how powerful Raptor Write is. We sit inside of Raptor Write ready to go to the project tab. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start a project and play around with that project. Here's the basic layout. You have your new documents, your saved documents, your duplicate documents. Now, as far as you know, right now, save project, duplicate project is what I meant to say. Pretty self-explanatory. You can have a new project. You can have a loaded project. So if I wanted to load the projects, I would click on it and I would see that it has no projects in here because I haven't started anything yet. One real quick piece of advice. If you are deciding to start new projects, if I were you, I would not start multiple projects, meaning multiple books, in the same JSON file. I would just back up this new project, title it whatever your universe for this particular thing is, some kind of mystery universe or whatever it is. And then that is the whole universe's JSON file. And you can put multiple books in that or whatever you want to do. The reason for that is because Raptor Write lives inside of your browser. It's extremely important that you understand that it lives inside of your browser. That means that your memory is limited. You want to make sure that you are not overtaxing it so that it doesn't bog down the rest of your browser and you can't figure out why this won't work or that won't work, or even worse, you lose any kind of data because you did not back it up correctly. So back up on a regular basis. Make sure you use one JSON file, one backup file for each one of your projects, meaning each one of your books or your series or whatever it is. You will be more secure in that fact. If I were you, even on top of that, I would use the Dropbox folder or Google Drive or something like that to back that up even further. So that's just me. That's what I would do. When you have a document, you can toggle that document on and off. The reason you'd want to turn that document on or off so that it can add that information into whatever prompt you're building. Say you want to have backstory or characters or maybe even some type of lore that permeates the entire story, that's always there, ever present. You could click a document on and it would always include that information inside of the massive prompt that it builds in the background that you're building from all of the documents that you have on, including anything that you may have configured inside of the prompter. We're in a blank document right now. If I click on new document, we get another blank document. So I'm going to start right here and say to myself, the story in a world. The power of Raptor Write is if I hit the backslash button, which is the run button, where shadows dance between the flickering lanterns of cobblestone streets, a distant hum of whispering tales echoed under the pale moonlight. I have this information here, right? And inside of this document, I've created this document. I've had the AI say something, build something for me in a world where shadows dance between the flickering lanterns of cobblestone streets. Now that I have this information, I can make a lot of decisions here. All right, so let's now go across the top and show you what these are. We are at cut, copy, and paste. These are built so that you don't have to actually have your right mouse click so that you can cut, copy, or paste. They have it already here. Inside the document, you can bold, italicize, underline, strike things through. You can block quote things, meaning that you can highlight things and have quotes on the ends of things. You can clear everything. These thumbs up and these thumbs down affect everything you see that has been written by the AI. What we like to call, well, let's just say they are yellow letters. So the yellow, the yellow letters, right, can either be accepted by you or declined by you. So say I don't like this. I can hit thumbs down and it all goes away. Now, what if I wanted to try again, see if it can create something more? All I have to do is hit the backslash button again, and it will create where shadows dance between the trees and whispers of magic threaded through the air. A young girl named Ekello stood at the edge of the forest. I like this. Yes, yes, my precious. I thumbs that up, right? And I now have accepted it. I can do whatever I want with it. I can edit it. I can continue again. I can do whatever I want. It's built right here to be in a very long Supermax sort of thing. So as you can see over here, I'm all the way up to 16,000, but that's all it had to say. It didn't want to talk a lot. That's what it gave me. I have my story. I now want to use this story as the premise, an orchestra of sounds that blended harmoniously into the Russell Ekello. Yep, there she is. I like it, so I'm going to thumbs it up. Let me show you a couple other weird things. This button is to clean up your markdown. Sometimes the output of a particular model will be in Markdown. That would be like little asterisks and stuff like that. This will clean it up and make everything bold and do all of that stuff. You can rerun the LLM right here. You can show the last prompt. I click on show the last prompt. It will pull up this dialog box that has everything that was in the last prompt. So if I wanted to, I could use these instructions, redo this in a different document if I really wanted to. I could look at the binoculars and preview the prompt that is coming, which is basically everything in the instructions, anything that I put as far as the story. I've clicked on the story, and that is part of the whole thing. We are in the middle of a document right here, so that is also included also. Now that I have this information right here, I can now click this on, and I can create another new document, and then I can say, tell me about this universe. It will use all that information that it has been keeping in consistency with it itself, because it built the story and then it built a continuation of the story. And now I can hit the button. It will create even more. In this universe, the world thrives on a delicate balance between natural and the mystical. Now I'm going to hit thumbs up because this is all true. Oh, here's another little cool thing. If you wanted to, right here, you could click on that and really make this a blank page. So clean, so nice. You can create a new document over here, right over this document. You have it there and you have it on the left-hand side. You can also save the project, and you can also go and load an old project if you wanted to. Then you have the ability over here on the right-hand side of the page to increase or decrease the size of your font that is down here. You can stop the LLM by hitting this button. So if you're running something and you need it to stop, you can hit that and it will stop everything. We'll go down to the bottom. Shows you that if you hit backslash, that these are your keys that you have selected. So you hit backslash right here, and that will run the LLM. Confirm means the thumbs up. If you hit the equal button, it tells you that you're in the context of continue, which means that if you hit the LLM, it will just continue whatever you have just written. But if you highlight everything, that will change to revise. This will show you where the words that are selected. This will show you the tokens that are selected, right? So say you want to work inside of LLM and you don't know how many words it is, you can just highlight everything and get that information right down at the bottom. The tokens are just a way of showing you that there are more tokens than words. A overall word count of whatever that document is, and its subsequent token count. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is just about everything except on how you save a document. Download current documents right there. So if you want to, you can download the document you're in. You can download all of the documents separately, or you can download the entire story as one single document. It's pretty slick. If you thought that was everything, you are definitely mistaken. There's one other thing that we are going to show you today, but it's just the tip of the mountain. It's folders. Folders are right here. Now, say I want this story and this expansion on the story. I'm going to call this expanded story. And I'm going to call this down here the universe. Here's the cool thing. This is the universe, right? I maybe need some place to put the universe. So I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call that new folder lore. So anything that has to do with magic or lore will go in there. We'll add that right there. Now I have two folders. One that says lore, one that says main. Then I want to add another one. And we'll call this one the story Bible. Add that. I have over here 3 different folders. One says main, one says lore, one says story Bible. Right there up here, you can see there's an empty trash button. This is the new folder button. This right here is for you to be able to switch to the active folder, which I'll tell you about in a second. I have nothing, literally nothing inside of anything other than the main folder. I'm in the main folder right here. In the main folder, I'm going to take the story. I'm going to move that I'm going to take the story. I'm going to right click, move to folder. It has a list of the folders. This one is the story. I'm going to call this and put this one in the Bible. I'm going to take the expanded story. I'm also going to right click and move that one over to the story. I'm going to take this one, right click, and I'm going to move that one into lore. And now inside the main folder, nothing exists. Nothing whatsoever. But if I wanted to, I could look in all of the folders. That button clicks on all of the folders, and now I can go into any one of these folders. I'm in the main folder. That's a blank document. Or maybe I want to go back to all folders and go and look in lore, my universe, look in my story Bible. And there, right there is the story and the expanded story. And so you have all of this stuff. But if you want to, say you have these two things turned on, you want to take a look at all of the things that you have turned on inside of your project. You click this button right here where it says switch to active folder. Now you're in the active folder. Inside of the active folder, if you want to, you can right click, hit lock. You can lock these in. They're always inside of the active folder, always ready to be used. So you can reuse prompts over and over and over again inside of the active folder for building things like the easy peasy book machine, which there's definitely a video right on this channel about the easy peasy book machine. This is a game changer, easily the biggest game changer, because you can create different scenarios where you can use this to craft different types of prompts that can be turned on and off dynamically, but stay inside of the active folder. This will be explored extensively in other videos, but know right now that you have the ability to keep things inside of the active folder permanently inside of a project and just turn them on and off at will when you need to use them. That way, it doesn't confuse things inside of some of the deeper prompting that you can do inside of Raptor Write. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the official introduction to Raptor Write. It is a very exciting time we're living in. This is the future. This is exactly the thing that can change your life forever, and it's free. My name is Ekello Harrid. Please do me a favor. Like and subscribe to the Future Fiction Academy, because this place brings the knowledge. We have standalone classes, we have some community classes, and what we want you to do is learn and continue to learn, and to learn from the best. Really, the best people who have their sleeves rolled up and are working hard inside of AI to make it real for the average author just like you to do some amazing things. My name is Ekello Harrid, and I will see you in class.